everybody. This is Emily Korsch, your USARA social media captain. We are reporting live and virtually from the CIA, the Central Indiana Adventure Race. So I've got Dustin and Seth with me. Dustin and Seth, would you introduce your team and what race you did?
We just finished the Central Indiana Adventure Race put on by DINOseries.com. And our team name is actually DINOseries.com. We race with the race director when we can, Brian Holzenhausen. And so that's why we just kept the name.
Nice. And then you guys did the 12-hour race. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, great. How'd it go? How long did it take you? Did you get everything, all the checkpoints? Do you know your place? Tell us about it.
Yeah, the race went great. We got all the checkpoints, cleared the course. We pretty much emptied our tanks on this one. We were both completely trashed coming across the finish line.
Yeah, probably the hardest I've ever worked in an adventure race.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you know your placing yet? Were you kind of like around other teams that pushed you so hard?
Yeah, I think we were fourth overall.
We were fourth overall, 15 minutes behind first place,
Ooh,
who was Rib Mountain. And Mike Garrison ran with them, so they were two. And then another guy team was third.
No, I think the other team won.
Okay.
And Rib Mountain was second, but yeah, close race.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing how those 12-hour races, you know, they sound so long on paper and then they turn into a sprint, like 12-hour sprint almost. Well, congratulations on getting all the checkpoints. That's not easy on especially one of Dino's courses. I know Brian likes to plan to, you know, make teams spend the whole time out there getting all those checkpoints. So tell us about like a highlight of the race for you, any interesting sections that you really enjoyed. What was your favorite part?
Well, I think easily the favorite part was the opening section where we probably did 7-8 miles of scootering.
Ooh, nice.
So you could bring rollerblades or scooters and went out on the road and went scootering for a long time.
Did you guys have little like Razor scooters or what did you bring?
We bought like a $40 Walmart scooter. You could have up to an 8-inch wheel. So we found some with the biggest legal wheels that we could have. And we kicked around the neighborhood like the week leading into the race just to learn how to scooter and went after it.
Yeah. Would you do it again? Did you like scootering instead of running?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was ready to jump on it the whole race.
It was fun. There was a steep downhill where we think we were pushing about 30 miles an hour on a scooter. It was a little precarious.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds terrifying. What was it like at the start with all of the field on some sort of small wheeled device? Was it mass chaos? Did you guys spread out pretty quick?
Yeah, we started up close to the front. We had a group of maybe 6 to 8 people in front of us. And we worked our way up to the lead within about 2 miles or so. So we got the first checkpoint first, and then we made a navigation error and went about a mile out of our way the wrong way. And so within the first half hour of the race, we went from first to like probably 30th place.
But then because Dustin is he's really good at scootering somehow. I guess I'm okay. We somehow caught everybody and got back into first place.
Wow. So I always love hearing about teams navigation. Like I don't want to, you know, rub anyone's face in a mistake, but I'm so curious about how you kind of realize it's a mistake and then how you recover from it. So can you kind of talk us through what happened when you figured out you made a mistake?
Plotting ahead of time, the road was supposed to be a straight south, and this road had a couple little curves in it, and we were heading kind of south-southwest. So when we came to the next county road, I was like, we got to dive off the side and look at the map, and we kind of figured it out pretty quickly then. And so we started heading back to cut the intersection off, and we could see just tons of people going down the road past us.
About a mile ahead.
Yeah, we're a mile behind. We'd see groups of 3 and 4 passing.
Wow. And so what was that like, the dialogue between you two? Were you pissed off? Were you sad? Were you just like extra motivated to get back in it? Like,
No,
what-
it was just motivated to get back up there, and
Mhm.
it was so early in the race.
Yeah, so early, and honestly, we were just having so much fun.
Mhm.
Especially early on in races, mistakes, they don't really feel like anything. They just, you're just out there enjoying life. So
Right. Yeah. You're like, I got the whole rest of the course to fix this one. Like,
exactly.
Yep.
no big deal.
That's probably why we pushed so hard the rest of the course too.
Yeah. So kind of towards the end of the race, were you seeing the teams that you were competing against and like kind of going back and forth with them?
So the last two segments were biking and then running. And the
Mhm.
biking was basically a big loop.
Mm.
And we purposely chose the part of the loop where you hit the mountain biking first because
Okay.
we know that we're kind of weaker mountain bikers. And we figured, hey, let's hit the mountain bike trails on fresh legs and
Sure.
then go back up then we went up the road and out. And eventually we saw Rib Mountain coming the opposite way. And we're like, oh, that's interesting. And then the whole rest of the way we were going the opposite way of everybody.
Uh-huh.
And that was on cycling. And the same thing happened in running, which was the last segment. We got to the transition area, the TA, and there was a set of checkpoints east and a set of checkpoints west. And we chose to go to the west ones first, and everyone else chose to go to the east ones first.
Oh,
So
gosh.
we saw once again, Rib Mountain and Lupine. We were like coming back on them both ways. So we're
Right.
like, man, this is a close race. We don't know how close, but it's close.
Right. Yeah.
And we had no idea how far apart we were, whether we were 10 minutes in the lead or 10 minutes behind. But
Sure. Yeah, and on the map, maybe it looks like those east and west sections are roughly equal, but you're not really sure. And, if you're seeing people kind of close to the halfway mark, then, you don't know if they made a mistake or not. Like, it's just such a mental game. Like, you really need to keep focused and, keep on doing your best. So, wow, that sounds
That's
like
probably why at least I'm hurting way more than I ever do because we just put so hard at the end, just thinking, man, if it comes down to a couple minute race, we don't want to lose it for that. So
right. Yeah.
yeah, that whole last trekking section, I was fighting cramps in like every muscle in my legs.
Uh-huh. Wow. That sounds like very, very intense. Like physically intense, mentally intense, like all 110%. Wow. So you finished, and then what was the finish line like? Was there people all around? Did you guys like immediately bust out your maps and try to figure out like what each team did, or what was it like at the finish line?
Yeah, Brian, my wife and kids were there at the finish line cheering, so that was nice. She's always the loudest cheerer in the section.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, Brian, the race director, and a couple other people were right there at the finish. And yep, I mean, we went across and immediately start looking around because we didn't know where we were at. We saw Rib Mountain off to the right there, so we knew right then that we didn't have the win.
Oh, yeah. But you're like, oh, just so close.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, do you guys have a next race on the calendar? Anything you're aiming towards after this really great effort at the CIA?
So Brian, the race director, and I, and possibly a new lady, Gretchen, we're all going to go down to race the FIG. It's a virtual race in Kentucky. It's also 12 hours. I think you have 2 weeks to do it, or 2 or 3 weeks to do it. So we'll probably end up going the first weekend, I think, and that's in November.
Yeah, nice. Dustin, what about you?
I'm going to take some time off now because I've been training pretty hard, and I am probably in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to go out and try and do a 40-mile solo run.
Ooh.
I just turned 40 a couple days ago.
Wow,
and,
happy birthday.
Thanks. I was going to do it on my birthday, but this race was like 3 days later, so I thought that probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, your teammate thanks you for not doing
so
that.
I'll get healed up from this, do that big run, and then I'm going to take some downtime.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's great. So thank you guys so much for making time after the race is over. I know you got a lot, with award ceremony and trying to get everything packed up. But before we go, do you have any shout outs that you want to send out into the interwebs? Any family or gear that worked really well for you?
Thanks so much, Brooke and kids, for letting me race. So that's my shout out. And as far as gear, I love the right stuff. Use it all the time. So thanks to USARA for introducing it to me.
Great.
Yeah, I'd say shout out to my wife and kids, Emily and Dylan and Tyler, for being here, cheering us on.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Brian Holzenhausen for putting on the race.
Awesome. Well, great. That's all we have for today at the DINO Central Indiana Adventure, the CIA. This was team DinoSeries.com at the 12-hour race, finishing very, very close to the win, but just not quite. So wish you guys the best of luck next time, and can't wait to see you at another race. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thanks, Emily.
Thanks.